Do you know why I lose all the time? I only look for yes. You got your perspective. I just want to be happy. Don't you want to be happy? Do you know why everyone's petrified when I hire someone? Because I'm just like, you're hired. Guys, I've hired thousands of people over the last 20 years. I've never looked at a resume. Just D-Rock's we have a very small team where we curate a lot of stuff that goes to Vayner, and he gets mad at me these days because he's an OG now, and he gets mad when I hire these random kids. And by the way, I hire them from the street. Like, just so you know how it actually goes down, this is real. Like, you can go look at D-Rock in the back, this is real. The last kid I hired, I did it in the street. Kid rolls up, I'm like, you're fucking hired. And D-Rock's like, fuck. But then in my mind, I laugh because I'm like, D-Rock, that's how you got hired, dick. Abundance is real. There's so much opportunity. Please try to go into the yes business. You're in the no business because you grew up in a pessimistic environment, whether it was the neighborhood you grew up in, your older sibling, most likely either your father or mother. You're in the business to say no. Why not? You're so scared to get tricked by something or look bad to others. Your cynicism or no-ness protects your insecurity. The reason I say yes to everything is because I don't give a fuck what any person in this room thinks about my shortcomings or losses. So much so, I don't care about what my wife, kids, or parents think about my shortcomings and losses. The reason I'm so light as a feather is I genuinely don't value another human being's opinion more than I value my own about myself because I have all the context. I know what do you know how easy it is when your intent is good? Do you know why I film everything? I'm not scared of anything. I have good intent. Do you know why I don't sell products or things of that nature? It's because I don't need to. I make my money in different businesses. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Everybody can do whatever they want. If you know that your intent is good, it's easy. I think about weird shit, guys. I think about, like, what if I hit somebody when I was driving? What if I killed somebody? This is the shit that goes through my head. What if I'm driving and I kill somebody? Because they jumped out, I wasn't paying attention, or worst, and this is why I really stopped texting and driving even a little bit. I'm like, what if that happened? And it's crazy the way I play chess in my head. It would obviously change the course of my life and devastate me. But it's incredible why there's still this little voice in my head that still makes it not okay, but boy, do I give a fuck about intent. It's incredible how much I navigate everything based on intent. I will let everything, right, D-Rock, we talked about the other day about like how I manage. I don't get down on anybody. I don't scream at, and if your intent is good, it's all okay. If I don't think you're capable, I'll fire you and try to help you get another job. And I'm being dead serious, I do it all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm unbelievably always so passionate about intent. If your intent is good, you're good with me forever, period. And so there's just so much good and opportunity right this minute, and the current mainstream media globally is just talking about so much bad. Bad sells in the short term. Good always wins in the end. Right. It's just true. I hate things like nice guys finish last. Where? It's just not true. Nice guys might be losing at halftime, but they win the game. Nice guys always win. It's just so crazy, all this fodder in the system that isn't true. All the faking it till you make it as a fashion brand that's a lead, or at what every single fucking 23-year-old male in the world is doing, which is fronting on Instagram because boys want girls, And so, like, I'm just unbelievably passionate in trying to, what I realized about myself was, oh shit, the reason I won and I'm good is I've never played in the vortex. I've never played in the actual rules of life. I was an F student when every immigrant was supposed to be an A student because education was the way out. I launched an e-commerce wine business in 1996, right? Like, that wasn't what I have a fucking sneaker Thanks for wearing them. Like, I've always done things that don't make sense. I play outside of the actual game, and that has been where all my happiness has come from. And so many things have become obvious to me by playing outside of the rules. Playing outside of the rules is the best. And that's where I want people to understand we are pandering to so many things that just aren't true. They're just not true. And so my biggest thing is the greatest gift ever is actually having a life. There's nothing anybody in this room, including myself, will ever do that's anywhere close to as remarkable as actually being a human being. The math is so absurd, you're literally more likely to get hit by lightning 23 times than be alive. Like, your mom might have just got up for another glass of wine. Like, do you understand how ludicrously lucky you are? You could have been a fucking tree. Like, what is very obvious to me is that my perspective on life is just fundamentally different. And now what I'm passionate about is putting it out there at scale, free, forever, and trying to change people's perspective on this. Because watching everybody navigate right now and do things, and I watch it all the time, like, you can't imagine how upset I am about the current state of entrepreneurship. The thing that put me on, the thing that I've always been my whole life, right? Like, literally, that's right, like, turn off the lights, I'm pissed. That was good work, fix it, go back. The best part is somebody probably just leaned on it, which I always think that's the funniest shit. And they're like fucking scared, like, oh fuck. Like, entrepreneurship right now is so misbranded. It's so fun. It's fun to watch because there's nothing wrong, and I love that it got cool. And listen, very few people have benefited more from it becoming cool than me, but it is not the purity of what I love. Right now, everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, which is do you know how hard it is to be a successful entrepreneur? Like, the problem with entrepreneurship is it's different than sports and the arts. If you suck at singing, you get exposed immediately. If you suck at sports, you get exposed immediately. On entrepreneurship, you put it in your Instagram profile and you get away with it for 3 years. And so I'm very, very much passionate right now to change people's perspective, and then after their perspective is changed and they actually are running a marathon because they're gonna live for 40, 50, 70, 100 more years, and they have so much more time than they think, when they stop worrying about other people's judgment, literally the majority of this room, look, if you're at this conference, it is highly likely that you're living your life based on somebody else's opinion. It's crazy. It's super real. I'm telling you, it's super real. You might not even realize you're doing it. It's almost like subconscious bias. Like, you're doing behaviors based on the outward facade. Do you know how many, again, and just, it's a great time for this because it's happening. Do you know how many of my fancy friends have texted me and called me in the last 3 weeks about this whole garage sale thing? They feel bad for me. I'm being serious. They're like, what are you doing? Like, my one friend was like, this is a funny text, and I laughed at it myself. He's like, bro, 8 hours ago, you were with the president of Cuba and Eric Schmidt in a super high-level discussion, and this morning, you're buying teddy bears off people's lawns. And I wrote back, swag. But it's interesting for me to see people see me from their eyes, contextual. It makes me realize, oh shit, they value the market, they value the opinions of others. They feel bad for me because they think it's hurting my brand. It's a very important thing to get around. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to transition now tactically. The reason I said all that is, here's the tactical thing that I'd like to talk about. If you are not producing 100 pieces of content for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, podcast, every single day, you are leaving the greatest opportunity in the world on the table. 100. 100. That's a fuckload. Let me tell you why. If I said you had unlimited money and you could go to the beachfront property all across this world and buy it all up for a penny on the dollar 112 years ago, would you do it? The answer is yes. The number one asset for this room, regardless of what you do, you sell sneakers, you're in the fitness industry, you're a financial advisor, you're in real estate, you sell donuts, whatever you're trying to run for mayor, you're trying to cure cancer. The number one thing that binds everybody in this room is that we all need the other person's attention before we can tell them what we want from them. Attention is the singular asset. It is the singular fucking asset. And right now, the attention of the world sits in mobile devices at scale. And there's only 7 or 8 places that we really consume content. You have to figure out how to send your message to the world in written, audio, and video content. Now, at first, you have to pick what you're good at before you can afford a huge team that does what I do, which is convert all my video into written form and audio and video. At first, you have to rely on, can you do video yourself? Are you a great writer? Are you introverted and want to do a podcast because you don't like seeing yourself on video? I don't care, but you have to start talking. I want to leave this conference and get some people here to start posting 100 pieces of content a day. Maybe 52 of those are just single tweets. Maybe 26 of them are Instagram stories. But I'm serious. And I'm also quite knowledgeable that most people here haven't posted 100 pieces of unique quality content this year. So imagine how fucked I think you really are. I mean it. The opportunity is remarkable. There's so much opportunity. Everything that you're seeing happen in society, the people that are getting voted in, the people that are building big companies, the celebrities that are changing in society, the people that are changing the world with positive or negative impact, everything's playing out in one place, the internet. And the internet breaks down into like 7 or 10 meaningful sites. Right now, the information sits on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's not super complicated. What's complicated is getting good at communicating on it. It's a skill. You have to respect the context. You have to make 100 pieces of content. Here's why. You want to sell a home? You make one video. Do you think that every woman and every man in here are going to see it the same way? Do you think a 22-year-old woman who makes $100,000 a year is going to see it the same way that a 49-year-old woman with 2 kids that makes $47,000 a year? We have these platforms that let us target people at a specific level that we've never seen before at scale. Anything you want to say to the world, you should minimally say it 13 times because you have to context the audience that's seeing it. You have to say, when I do things globally, when I make a video and I say, hey, Mexico, you need to think about how you're doing influencer marketing. If I do that versus, hey, you need to think about how you're doing influencer marketing, and I post it to people in Mexico, it disproportionately does better. Not only do you have to make 100 pieces of content, you have to make 500 different segmentations in media and run it. Here's the good news. Everything I just said sounds hard as fuck and tedious as shit, right? But here's the secret. Everything great should be hard.